Catching up with cancer, a group of young biotechnologists have introduced a new system of detecting cancer. The liquid biopsy process that detects cancer using blood samples, as opposed to tissue biopsy that relies largely on tissue surgery, has the capacity to detect cancer in one's body even when still at the symptomatic level.
This is a doctor preparing medicine for a chemotherapy procedure at a local facility. It is the most popular cancer treatment procedure. Even though the procedure has been successful, a new technology working alongside this procedure will see improved quality of life for cancer patients and increased rate of survival. A group of young biotechnologists using a new technology called next-generation sequencing are determined to change cancer management and treatment by helping detect cancer early.
The actual thing about cancer, we all know it's caused by mutations. So once we genotype your tumor, we can find out the exact mutation that is occurring within your blood. Once we know the mutation, for example, there's a KRAS, there's a BRCA, for those people who have dealt with breast cancer before. Once we know the exact mutation, we can select targeted therapies that can clear that specific mutation. So in the long and short run is, once we clear mutation, we clear disease. So we basically, that's the one solution we give patients that is not widely accessible to them with any other test.
People are limited in terms of how they diagnose cancer based on location and tissue type. But they have not been able to go deeper into the cells and see the molecular structure of the DNA. As we're able to give you the molecular structure of the DNA and the relevant medicine for that, that will increase the likelihood of overall survival of all cancer patients.
This technology tests cancer by running blood samples through chemical processes via supercomputer, which in turn will sequence the DNA and give details of somebody's cancer type. It also checks whether drugs are working and give advice on the type of drugs one requires based on the type of cancer in the body.
And we'll be able to tell you the type of genetic error that is causing that cancer. And we'll be able to tell you the specific drugs you can use to target that cancer.
Why the genetic makeup of the cancer? So that we can be able to give you a specific therapy or link you to a specific therapy, which at the end will help you save a lot of money on choice of therapy and time, which you do not have.
The next generation sequencing is accurate in monitoring the treatment to see if the drugs for chemotherapy are working or whether the doctor needs to change the drugs. And as opposed to other procedures, liquid biopsy is both cost-effective and time-saving.
One test covers everything that a doctor and a patient need to know about a particular cancer. In a comparison situation where someone would do something to get the similar cost, they would have to go for multiple procedures to get or to attempt to get the same information.
Here we are going on a specific person with a specific drug, extracting out the data using supercomputing power and be able to match a therapy of a patient to a drug.
A single test done through next-generation sequencing gives all the necessary information about a particular cancer. It is popular in America, China, Japan, and Europe. Shadrach Miti, KTN News.
For years, Kenyan fishermen along the shores of Lake Victoria have decried increased harassment by Ugandan authorities. Many have had their fishing boats confiscated and the fish that they've caught sold. Our Nyanza region reporter Kevin Ogutu visited Nambo Beach in Usenge in Siaya County, where some former fishermen have resorted to sand harvesting, while those brave enough to venture into the lake do so, but in the company of police officers.
It is 10 o'clock at Nambo Beach in Bondo sub-county, and these fishing boats are lying here idle. Most of these boats have been confiscated together with the outboard engines and the fishing gears. And the owners of these have since said enough is enough. They will not be venturing into the lake anymore. The Kenya police has come to the rescue of these fishermen in terms of patrols, but this has come at a price.
Kwa kila siku tunatumia lita kama 100, inagharimu kitu kama 12,000.
If the police are going to patrol, the Inspector General should be able to make sure that they are financed from the state coffer, not from the local community.
Gabriel Onyango, who is the Beach Management Unit chairman, paints a picture of the harassment and intimidation Kenyan fishermen go through at the hands of Ugandan revenue and security officers.
Wanawashika, wanachukua samaki zao, wanawachukua wao wavuvi na boti zao na ma-engines, wanapeleka nje kwa island inaitwa Hama. Wakifika huko wanakuwa charged. Na kila boti inatozwa kiasi cha shilingi 30,000 za Kenya.
These fishermen claim the Ugandan authorities claim they cross their territorial boundaries, given Lake Victoria is a shared resource.
We are requesting our Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga to come to put the boundary between Kenya and Uganda, because the people will die.
Between January and May, Ugandan authorities have confiscated 50 fishing boats complete with the engines and fishing gear. And this has brought further desperation among the fishing community here.
Sahi mimi nilichukua loan, nikatengeneza boti, nikaweka net, zilichukuliwa na watu wa loan. Watoto wamebaki wakikaa nyumbani. Sahi mimi ninafanya tu kazi ya kubeba mchanga.
But what in the fishermen's own words should be the solution to this?
Tunaomba serikali yetu kuu ikae na serikali ya Uganda. Serikali ya Uganda ipeane directives kwa maskari wao kwamba uvuvi tuko kwa East African community.
It takes approximately 250,000 Kenya shillings to have a boat in the lake for purposes of fishing. And for fishermen who use actually loan to get such investment, it becomes almost impossible to get back on their feet after such boats are confiscated by the Ugandan authorities. Kevin Ogutu for KTN News in Nambo Beach, Siaya County.
Yeah, that has been an issue for a while now. You're watching KTN Prime. Thank you for staying with us. We're taking a short break. But when we